workshop, regular meeting / budget workshop of the Tiki Island City Council on Tuesday, July the 16th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the Public Safety Building. Roll call, Telchik. Here. Neblett. Here. Haley. Here. Cunningham. Scott. Here. And Walker. Would y'all please stand and say pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. We're going to have number 3, consent agenda. All items marked on a single asterisk on the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council and be acted upon in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member requests it. A, approval. Oh, I'm sorry. Citizen comments on agenda items only. I'm sorry. Okay. Consent agenda. All items marked with a single asterisk on the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council and be acted upon in one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests it. A, approval of the minutes of the June 18, 2024 regular meeting / budget workshop. B, Secretary Treasurer's report, payment of bills, June 2024. And C, investment officer's report, June 2024. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss. Go ahead.
Minor detail. In the minutes of last month, we said we added, we said we made the public safety building maintenance $32,000. But what we actually did was we added $32,000 to it for a total of $50,000.
Okay. Any other discussion? Motion?
Motion approved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Mayor and Alderman's report. Reports are limited to items of community interest as defined by the Texas Local Government Code, Section 551.0415. No action will be taken. Mayor's report. Well, we've been doing a little bit of trash pickup. We're just about finished with it. So, we've been moving dumpsters in and out, and we've hired Wise Landscaping to come by and pick up the trash. So today was what we call the final sweep of the first section, I guess. So we will have more dumpsters. As you see, it was inconveniently timed at this time to bring another one to put trash in, and y'all more than welcome to bring it up there. Now, we can't take refrigerators, we can't take dishwashers or anything like that, but we can take any storm debris that you have, and we'll have some extra dumpsters here. As time goes on, we will make another run, but I don't know when it is. It'll depend on the citizens. If somebody has something, then we'll come back later and get a little more. But for small stuff, if y'all would like to bring it, we're going to have a dumpster here and one on the inside. We'll keep an eye on it and get that done for you. I'll let Barry talk about what he posted on your report about the exterior of the island. And basically, everything has went pretty good. We got back on our electricity within about 5 days, so it wasn't bad. There's still people in Houston that's out without it. Cleanup's been done since the storm, so completed today. I think the aldermen, they helped a lot. Patty and Barry and all of our aldermen, Alan and Hunter, getting the word out to y'all, approving to spend money and to get it done. So that's about it. I'm gonna go to the rest of it. Alderman's report. Neblett?
Just briefly, we do have some signs down, some traffic signs, road signs down. We will get those repaired as soon as time and resources become available. It is on our list, and that's all.
Cunningham. Oh, I'm sorry. Haley.
I got 2 things I want to cover. One, I'll start with the canal debris cleanup that's going to happen. If you saw online, the barge should be here by Thursday. That's the whole plan. The barge should be here by Thursday. When the barge does show up, it showed up Wednesday morning. What we plan on doing is running a boat, my boat or Hunter's boat we talked about for some different sonar scanning stuff, running ahead of the barge and telling the barge, hey, this canal has debris. This canal doesn't have debris. So the barge moves at a snail's pace. So it's just not wasting time going down places it doesn't need to go down. I'm going to do my best to put eyes on things that are floating, for sure. I'm going to ask the community for help online. Hey, if you've got something, please let us know that day with tides coming in and out. It could change, so that's why I'm not asking any questions right now from people. I'm gonna pretty much ask day of. If you see something, please post it or tell me where we can go find it. That way I can get to it. I've got some awesome, very, very bright green tape I'm gonna flag everything with so they will not miss it. And like I said, not spend wasting time going down canals that don't need it. Because there are some canals that don't have any debris. There are some, like mine, that have 3 tires and a 15-foot section of dock that no amount of manpower is getting out of the water except an excavator. That's my update on that.
And that'll be stacked.
Do what?
That'll be stacked where?
So the location is going to be actually at the marina. We will have a dumpster out there for staging. When dumpsters probably become more available, Goldie negotiated a free rent for us to stack over there at the marina. It does not involve our 6-month contract at all. So basically, they said, yeah, come on, just use it for the time being, which is great because, like I said, it doesn't enact that 6-month contract. They'll go and they'll stage, they'll empty, and then it'll get put in the dumpster. So from there, then the dumpster will be hauled off. Hopefully, I don't, unless I know it's supposed to rain this week. I looked at the weather. I don't want it to take more than 2.5 days. That's really it, because we're paying these people by the day. So that's why we're trying to get them in and get them out, and we move on. Anything else anybody can think of with that aspect? Okay. Second thing I want to address is with Adrian. We got together about 3 weeks ago, and there was a couple of issues. This was all before the storm. I know nobody really kind of remembers before that, but we had some issues regarding noise complaints with houses in Tiki Island and them being just loud to be on the point where it was annoying. And the way our actual ordinance is written is the verbiage states that if it becomes I think a nuisance or something like that, it's something very subjective. Like there's no defiant thing that gives these guys the power to say, no, you're done. The way Galveston does it is that after 10 p.m., you get up to 70 decibels worth of sound from the nearest adjacent property with a decibel reader. It's very easy. If the officers go to that and they read something more than over 2 seconds, because that's what the ordinance, like I'm basing this off the Galveston ordinance, and it's over the violation, then the police have every right to shut down, citation, and this is a final black and white line for these guys instead of somebody saying, oh, well, we think it's too loud. Well, your neighbor maybe thinks it's not loud enough. Maybe they want to, partake. But it gives these guys the authority for somebody to make a call, and they get there, and they can either show the neighbor they're not violating the law, or they are violating the law and take action, rather than them try and babysit both neighbors and try and make an agreement, and when they could be doing better things on the island other than worrying about this stuff. I think that's very key. It only requires us purchasing a decibel reader or a couple of them. They're about $250, $300 for good ones. They have to be weighted. They have to be calibrated correctly. I know how to do that, or we can hire a consultant to do it. But that's one thing with the police officers. Do you guys want to add in on that item? Because we have 2 items. That's the first one.
Yes, well, thank you, Barry. And guys, our job here is to make sure that we keep the peace, right? And one of our jobs is to make sure that you guys are able to sleep at night. And I'm your night guy. And I get, and so like, I didn't see you, Mike. You look different, not and so we do get a lot of calls for noise complaints. And by law, they have to have, it has to be verbiage just right for us to actually go in there and act upon, right? So I do agree with Barry. We do need to state that as far as the noise decibels. That then gives us the right to go ahead and enforce that city ordinance. I have written citations for noise ordinance. Mike has also. I have shut parties down completely and told them that if I had to come back out again, then unfortunately I may have to take it a step further and place someone in custody. We do need to get with Ms. Bridget.
I don't know if it's a matter of rewriting the entire ordinance itself. I think it may be a matter of amending it.
Yes, sir, just amending it.
Right. So it'll be a discussion,
That'd be
it'll be
discussed
for next
Yeah,
time.
and we just have to state in there the decibels. Previous agency that I worked for, our decibel was actually 80. Barry's correct, Galveston SO is 70. So we just have to come to agreement with one, right?
Right, exactly.
And if I may add just one quick thing on that too. I know a lot of us like to have live bands, DJs, and stuff like that. That was at one of the parties that I shut down, and I actually told the DJ that I was going to give him a citation if he did it again. But myself and the chief actually approached this gentleman. My recommendation would be, how music echoes, but I agree with the chief. If we're going to have a party like that, you want to have a live band or a live DJ, let's have it out here in the pavilion. I know for our homes, that's where we like to have parties at, but that would actually take a lot of the phone calls away and everyone saying they can't sleep because of loud music.
Just to kind of add on to that, at 10 p.m. is when we're talking about putting this into effect. We're not talking, we're just talking about 10 p.m., hey, people are trying to sleep, blah, blah, and then this is when this starts coming into effect. So, yeah.
There's no answer to questions, but anyway.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I would like to say one thing. Would y'all call 911 and not the mayor? That's all I have to say.
The second police agenda thing that we had to discuss was signage for parking, and I'll turn it over.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Barry. So right here, on the street by Kaninsky, right there, there's a sign that says that you cannot park your vehicle there no more than 24 hours. That is very broad there. There's nothing that I can do after 24 hours because it doesn't state, the verbiage on this sign has to state that if it's past 24 hours, then your vehicle will be towed at owner's expense. That is the only time that we as officers can actually take charge and do something about it. I don't know how long that sign has been there.
Probably about 8 years.
Yeah, but it just basically states that if you're going no parking over 24 hours, and then it has a city ordinance in small print on the very bottom of that sign. That's not enough for us to be able to enforce city ordinance. There's certain verbiages, and I know you guys, when y'all park your cars in Galveston or anywhere on the roadway, especially downtown Houston, there is a sign that says between this time and this time, and past that, the vehicle will be towed at owner's expense. That's how this has to be verbiage for us to actually put a sticker on the window and then call a record to come and pick it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it, and that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge everybody on the volunteers related to the hurricane. Many volunteers around the community helped out with a lot of things, and then the mayor and Alderman and Patty and Barry and emergency management provided a lot of communications on multiple channels, from text messages to Facebook to the internet to website and so forth. So I thought personally the communication was pretty well. And then I wanted to acknowledge that also the Tiki employees, that everybody that helped kind of organize things, and also the water district. We went through this hurricane and the city never lost potable drinking water. The city never lost the sanitary sewer system, even after almost 4 days without electricity. And the city never lost contact or assistance from the police and fire departments for health, safety, and security. So, having said that, my next thing to say is that Tiki Island has no control over the electricity. Just so there's no confusion, we have absolutely no control. But I will say that Centerpoint communicated with the mayor a lot, and there was I guess you'd call him a project manager or whatever, was sending out information, and we, unfortunately, there was an unexpected equipment failure across the freeway. Even though we were pretty much ready to get power back, a big piece of equipment failed, so then that was really pretty amazing that it got turned around. We got switched back and forth between different grids, and so, I think after being without power for only about a little over 3 days, I think overall we were pretty lucky. But that's just not something that, that the village can just call CenterPoint and say, hey, can y'all just rush right on out here and get us some power, you know? But having said that, the water, the sewer, police and fire and everything else, the city does control, and everything seems to go really well. I just have a comment here. We're still working on the elevator for this building here. We're waiting on a manufacturing ship date, trying to get that confirmed with them. It's been a long process, but that's just, right now in the industry, that's kind of how it works. It's just everything is delayed. And that's all I can say.
Okay, thank you, Walker.
That's all right. For those of you guys that don't know, all of us have different responsibilities as aldermen. The communications committee is Steve Cunningham, who's in Alaska at the moment, myself, and now Barry. The way the communications worked, because there was some comments out there about where it was coming from, is I was in probably more constant communication than our mayor wanted with Goldie. Basically, 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning, actually, that's not true. Monday night, he texted me, and then we were back and forth in communication. The messages you were seeing on social media were the exact same messages that were going out via our emergency management coordinator on the alert system. So that all of those were crafted to make sure that the communication was the same and was approved essentially by village leadership.
Even the stuff coming from me.
Even
too.
if-
So
for
it
Barry
came
and I
from one
both.
point and then was told by us and then
Yeah.
yeah.
And Barry and I were communicating
Yeah.
as well, and we were communicating with the other aldermen as well. The reason that we wanted to use social media as well is because we know not everybody's on the alert system. Barry has put out there a fantastic how-to video of how to get signed up for the alert system that most of the people that were having issues, it has fixed it for them because it was a two-step process. So our first preference would be for you to go there or get the alerts for official information. But we wanted, as Alan had said, as broadly as possible, to as many people as possible, which is why we're using the social media pages as well that are on there. And I try to respond as quickly as I can. Like you guys, nobody had power, so I was doing it on my phone, and so fat fingers every now and then. But we'll continue to do that. We are interested in feedback, and Barry and I, and we'll talk to Steve, have talked about having a day that we'll come up here and we'll take comments from you guys. What worked, what didn't, what would you like to see improved, what could we do better, those types of things. So I'm a big fan of after action reviews, having come through the corporate world. So I think there's always something that we can learn. So hopefully you got the information that you needed as timely as possible. And I shout out to you, that was fantastic. Because all of my FEMA questions were going through Mike. That's it.
Okay, thank you. We're going to do reports and presentations, fire department.
So we have one new member, Matt Nixon, volunteer. EMS calls, we had 9 for the month, 5 medical calls and 4 motor vehicle accidents. We had 2 minor fires and 1 fire alarm. We had 1 mutual aid call to IE Vista. One of the minor fires was a vehicle fire. All engines are in service as well as the squad, and we don't have any grants at this time.
Thank you. Police report.
Calls for the month of June: 1 abandoned vehicle, 3 alarm calls, 1 animal stray, 41 agency assist, 4 citizens assist, 1 disorderly conduct, 3 fire EMS, 1 general information call, 5 loud music, 1 recovered property, 2 silent 911, 1 stranded motorist, 4 suspicious persons, 2 suspicious vehicles, 2 traffic complaints in the city, 6 trespassing, 3 violations of city ordinance, 1 welfare check, 19 traffic stop warning, 15 traffic stop citations, a total of 81 calls.
Thank you. Building inspector's report.
10 new homes currently under construction, 1 new house permit issued, 1 new house plan reviewed, 76 permits issued, 93 closed, permits replats, 1 was returned, completed a CE hour class, Windward Street, Freeport did some inspections over there, Marina bulkhead section, repairs completed, got the grass mowed, complaint, ordinance issues, trailers on vacant lots, court case, met with the owner and an engineer on a condition we've been trying to get resolved for almost 2 years. Bulkhead notice, 17 site reviews, 75 complaint, efforts continue on ordinance violations of standard non-compliant conditions. Of course, we had the court case, zoning charge, change submitted, backflow valve certification continued. I know that's a tough one for everybody, but it's something that the plumbing code requires. And we did waive building permits at this time, so you still have to get your permits for reconstruction. Now, we're going to be lenient as far as, I say we, but it's me, as far as, you know, replacing a lot of items and stuff, maintenance work, if it's a small amount of siding and those kind of things. Of course, we're not going to worry about that, but boat docks are definitely going to have to be looked at. If you're replacing the siding on your house, of course, it's going to be permits as usual, basically, so that's what we have.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance Review Committee report. Alan.
Was something just came up about licensing of pets. We don't do that anymore. The county does it. So there's in planning and zoning, there's a section on licensing of pets, and also in chapter 4, there's a whole chapter on pets. So the ordinance committee, review committee is going to have to make those two mesh. I think we're going to eliminate, well, the planning and zoning will have to first eliminate licensing from planning and zoning, and then we will then update the ordinance chapter 4 and essentially move the leash law from planning and zoning chapter 4, which is pets basically. Don't have any idea why it was ever in planning and zoning, but it sounds good. So anyway, that's all. And apparently maybe we're going to have something to do with the noise, nuisance ordinance, noise related.
Okay, thank you. Emergency management report. Michael.
Let's start off with a bit of good news. I'm busy. I want to say I'm very, very happy with your resilience. You persevered through the dark, literally, for X number of days. I'm very happy to see that. With that being said, if you had a plan, review it now. We're in the B's. Now it's barrel. So we got a big season. Review your plan. See what worked, see what didn't. And be ready for C, D, E. Whatever else comes our way. With that being said, that's your damages in Tiki. I've got access to the system, the mayor has access to the system. When you do your reports for damages, this is a good trial run. Any other storm, we're gonna have the same thing. You're gonna go to that app and report your damages yourself. The ones that did would see that if you need certain help with certain things, you need mugging gut, rebuilding, things of that nature, you can click on certain options, which that information from this goes to another state sponsored site that gets you in contact with volunteer groups to help you out, so that we as a city don't have to run around trying to find stuff for you. It's all done on the backside. But it's through this reporting system that is so very important for you guys to do. But that's where we're at with the city. We showed 12 affected, which are kind of the blue dots. Most of them was minor, 54 residents, and 4 showed major. Now, these categories are what you see and what you consider major affected. Coming down the line, once we get into the individual assistance, which is FEMA, there's their grants and small business loans, through Small Business Administration, through the loans, for your repairs. This data goes to them as well. So take with the FEMA and Small Business Association, they're gonna be setting up locations in Galveston County. So if you need to meet with them or having issues or whatever, there's gonna be a center in League City, in Texas City, and in Galveston. Those exact sites haven't been set as of yet. As soon as I get that information, I'll pass it along to you. But they'll be in those 3 cities. FEMA still has to come in and do a site review of the locations that the county is proposing to make sure, yes, we can use this site for everything we need it to do. I've been in contact with TxDOT as well about the signage at the front, Tiki. Those are their signs. Like the power company, we are on the list. I've stressed the importance. These are stop signs that are missing, and it's coming on Jones Lake Road. That people going from Gulf Drive back around don't have to stop. So coming off the freeway or turning onto Jones Lake Road, use extreme caution, please. On the city side of things, we have a similar system to this called PSTAT that captures all the data. Same way for the city's losses, garage doors that we had, the side of the public safety building garage that got blown in. All those are costs that we put in to a system similar to this that goes to the county, goes to the state, and ultimately to FEMA if the disaster is large enough, in which case this one is. So,
Did they categorize us by category 1, 2, or anything, or a certain one size for that? Or is it just something?
That's National Weather Service kind of stuff. So,
Cat 1, it's officially Cat 1.
and
So that's what we give the service. It's a 1 or higher.
It's damage, it's
It's based on damage.
monetary damage. And actually, the Saffir-Simpson is based on damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, it's,
Damage.
there's still a wind in there, but it's
Yeah.
classified by damage more than anything else.
so when all these amounts, they give a dollar bill added to it. When you do it, you guesstimate
Right.
what dollar amount is. We do the same thing on the city, unless we've got Brandy in the room go, no, I got a receipt for that. I know how much exactly that costs.
Yeah.
Then we put that figure in. All that goes towards our thresholds. There's a county threshold that we have to meet and a state threshold, which ultimately gives us the ability to get federal funding.
And he was tracking that
Yeah.
for the last several
You
years.
can't
He's been
see
tracking that.
On this slide,
Yeah.
on this area right here,
Yeah.
there's dollar figures
Okay.
based on what's been inputted.
Yeah.
Both on the individual side and our side as a jurisdiction. So, and it updates real time. As soon as somebody hits send, I think it's about a 5-minute delay until it hits our system.
Yeah, so on Wednesday, was it Wednesday or Thursday? You basically knew those thresholds had been met. Yeah, I can't remember the day either. Yeah.
And then review your plans that you had. If they worked great, be a little bit more robust, I guess. But review them and make it just that much better for the next one, because it'll be here. Okay? That's all I got.
Executive session, which y'all would all have to leave the room and we would finish and come back. So I'm going to move the budget workshop up, citizen comments up, and we're gonna do the executive session at the last time, so y'all don't have to wait around to come back. Because once we get out of the executive session, we're just gonna go to the meeting anyway. So we're gonna move it up. So right now, we're going to go to the budget workshop, and we're in it. We're going to budget workshop. Okay, here we go. Somebody take over. Who wants to? Alan? He's our budget man.
Not a lot of changes since the last. I'd say probably haven't changed more than $30,000 or $40,000 from the one that was presented at the last meeting. We continue to get the tax reports from the county. Right now, if we went through with the current value of all the homes in Tiki and based on the ad valorem tax, what we're looking at is about a net 2% decrease in the combined tax rate. We have debt and we have M&O. And M&O is gonna be up 8%, but the debt is gonna be down 16%. Primarily what we're doing is we're gonna, when we did the dredging project, the budget for the dredging project was about $9 million, I think is what it was. And anyway, we didn't spend all the money. So we spent about $600,000 or $700,000 less. And we can't use that money for anything else. So what we'll do is, over a period of 3 years, we're gonna give back, this year we're gonna give back $275,000 to the citizens. And then that rolls into to lower the tax rate for the year. And then it'll be probably a similar number next year and the year after. And kind of just briefly, the theory behind that is people move in and move out of the city a lot. And so just to kind of, so that someone who bought a house yesterday doesn't get a huge chunk of tax incentive for a dredge project they basically didn't pay for, you know, if you know what I'm saying. So it's just better to spread it out over 3 or so years, to spread it over more people, to get when we are giving the tax incentive back. So we're right now, again, we're looking at a 2% decrease in the tax rate. This is very preliminary. We're still waiting on information from the county. But I think that's pretty good, considering that with inflation and things like they are now, you know, to be able to hold the tax rate down as best we can.
Okay. B, discussing adding schedule another day for special meeting with super quorum to propose the tax rate. As of the time of the agenda posting, we have not received our tax rate calculations or certified rolls from the county yet. So we're gonna have to set another date to go into this. So,
Dreaded, we didn't want to do an extra. August 6th would be a great day if that works for everybody.
everybody look at y'all's calendars. I'm here.
If not, we'll look around
Works for me.
that.
No, you don't.
I'm not here.
Okay. All right, that's a no. 13th.
The 13th,
I'll be.
I will not.
My life is boring apparently.
I'm here.
I'm retired.
You want to drive 8 hours, 2 kids, I'll let you do it. That's where we're going.
Well, he's not here. We don't.
Oh, okay.
What about the 30th of July? Is that too quick?
No, we should definitely have
Whether we
the
have the
certified rolls back from.
July 30th,
from
gentlemen?
the
I'm here.
district.
Hunter? No? Hunter's a no. Hunter, when are you available? Maybe we should start with that.
Could he via Zoom?
We have to have 4 here.
Or
In place.
We don't
Okay, we don't have to make a decision tonight. We can
okay.
Yeah.
get.
Cunningham will be back. Let's see what he does. All we have to
Yeah,
have
see
is
where he
one
is.
for super quorum.
I'll look at my
So let's see what that
schedule.
does. We don't have to go through a bunch of
Yeah.
rescheduling. So we'll make that at a later date.
Okay.
So Brandy, you'll just email us all and say
Yes, ma'am.
when you're available, okay?
Okay. So we'll get into that a little bit later, okay?
Mhm.
All right, so we'll close the budget workshop. Citizen comments, please state your name. Comments limited to 2 minutes, please. Okay?
I got one, Jim Caldwell.
Hey, Jim.
I'm interested in the damaged breakwater section that got damaged out here. Is that gonna get repaired and is it under warranty?
That's what we're going into executive session about. And I didn't
We're
think
also
you-
very interested in it.
Hey, we didn't know yet. We've got to get with the engineer, so we have to go into executive session. The alderman have to tell me what to do, and we'll go from there, and that's the reason it might turn into a lengthy deal, and I didn't know if y'all wanted to go in that room for that long and then come back out, so that's the reason we took it to the
We'll
end.
get updated.
You will get updated on it, Jim. Not a problem. Yes, Warren Clark.
Yes, I'd like to compliment the alderman and mayor on the communications that
Yeah.
we've enjoyed with this tragedy. We've had problems before. We've never had the communications as well and through the diverse sources. And I think every one of you aldermen we've heard from and mayor. And that's amazing because we knew what was going on It was a difficult situation with what Centerpoint experienced. Whatever you feel about that, that is what it is. The part that y'all could have something to do with was fabulous. I particularly appreciate, Brad, what you're doing.
Barry.
Barry.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I've been called worse.
I'm sorry, Barry. With, you know, getting into the canal cleaning and so forth, we don't need to go out there and do an assessment of the damn thing and spend money to go assess it. And spend all that money to do it, because ultimately, we're gonna pick up every piece of trash that's out there, so why count them and then come back and do them again? That just is excess money, so you're being cost effective, and I just appreciate the way y'all are doing it. So, as a longtime citizen, thank you all for what you're doing. And Mayor, thanks for your party with the shrimp.
Let me clarify this. Let me clarify this. So Scott Gordon, Cole Gordon Helping Hands Foundation, contacted me. I did not contact him. And he set it up at the time when we had no power. Then as time went on, we got half the power. Then he called me and I said, well, you know, maybe you might want to take this to some other community or something. He said, no, I'm still coming to Tiki. Then he called me the day before and he said, now you got all your power. And I said, I'm going to leave this up to you, and you do what you want to do. It's your foundation. So he decided to come on out anyway and do it for the Village of Tiki. This was not something the mayor done. He contacted the mayor. Let's get that out and open. So if y'all ever seen, thank you.
And we could make donations to this.
Yeah, write him a check.
You can make donations to it. I did while he was here, but I'm just saying y'all can. But that was something that was set up by the Cole Gordon Helping Hands Foundation. It was not, nothing to do with me. He just called and asked if he could do it, and we set it up from there. That was it. The only other thing I'd like to say, and then we're gonna go, and if there's no other citizen comment, I do want y'all to, go ahead.
Steve Bannister.
Hey, Steve.
How you doing? I just got some concerns. I know it's Centerpoint's responsibility for trimming palm trees and stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed around the island, and especially on my street, there's a lot of them that are right next to a pole. I mean, I actually witnessed out the window while the storm was going on, the fronds just sitting at the top of the transformer sparking and the power going off and on. And I never seen out here really trimming anybody's trees. People have actually had contractors coming out here. I mean, one of the contractors could get killed easily trimming that one particular tree. I mean, it's not even a foot away from the pole, and I think they got to be 5 meters is what the recommendation.
Well, if you get too close, it will hit you if you're trimming the tree. But Darrell is on top of that. He reports to them. They came out one time and they put an orange ribbon around all the trees that was going to be trimmed. They did not come back and do anything. But now that you mentioned that again, I will get a hold of the contact that was in constant contact with us during this. He's a district manager for this area. And see, and Darrell will send them a report again, and we'll see if we can follow up on that, because I have the same thing in my house. I just watch it burn a little bit.
Yeah. All right, appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, only thing I'd like to say, these 5 people here, they've done this job. I asked them their opinions, they told me, and we put it to work. Y'all have a good set of all. Everything is done. I'm just their puppet. They tell me to go do it, and I make a phone call. All right, we're going to go into the executive meeting. We appreciate y'all coming. Please come back.